Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to S Dogs MMA Talk. This is H Town's Breakdown. You might notice today I got a different guest besides Eric. Apparently, this man has Ebola or COVID or whatever he's got. This man is just crying and just can't do it. His head's hurting too bad today. But we got a replacement today, baby. I want y'all to welcome my homeboy, Jax. If you haven't already followed his podcast, you are missing out. This dude has some of the best edits I've ever seen and one of the most slept on podcasts in the game right now. It's called Making the Walk. And before I just keep going and talking, bro, how are you doing? And just, I'm ready to do this recap with you, my guy.
Man, I'm ready too, man. Shout out to Eric. Hopefully you get better, man, for sure. But but yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on, dude. Especially short notice. Like I was ready to dive in, and especially talking about UFC 307. Like that's easy. That's light work for me. So yeah, I'm ready.
Bro, this was a great card this past weekend, bro. So we ain't even gonna hold y'all up any much longer. Let's go ahead and just get straight into it, bro. I'm ready to get some of your thoughts on these fights and
hmm
just overall the night, bro. Um, what what were your thoughts, bro, on this fight right here with Court Mcgee and Tim Means?
Okay, so out the gate, man. Like before this whole thing even started, like with Court McGee and Tim Means, I was like, man, Court, this might we might see the gloves on this one, but
Bro,
he didn't do that at all. Like the way that he came out, like he was like a whole new person. And then I heard the commentators talking about the surgeries that he had. I was like, oh, okay, so I see what's going on. And for him to get a finish, like that was wild. And I mean, maybe we got a new entry into the senior division of the of the UFC because he might have something left in him. Maybe,
bro, was he the Ultimate Fighter 11 winner? Do you know off
yeah,
top?
something like that.
The Ultimate
Ultimate
Fighter, it's crazy that
Fighter.
he's even still in the game, bro, and
Mhm.
fighting the Dirty Bird and winning in the first round submission, bro.
Yeah, he was Ultimate Fighter BC. Like he
Hey,
was.
that shit was still on Spike when Court McGee won the Ultimate Fighter, bro. Uh,
Yeah.
I can't believe he pulled it off, bro. And like you said, the fact he didn't retire, I was expecting it as well. Especially, I think
hmm
he's from Utah, so I
Yeah.
was like, this just makes perfect sense, bro, for him to go out like this in front of his family, bro. But what
Yeah.
are your thoughts on him getting the submission in the first round?
I was shocked. I did not see that happening. I mean, like,
Bro.
Court McGee from back in the day, yeah, sure. But, like that Martin Luther King was alive the last time he got a submission win. You know what I'm saying? So like that's shocking. Like I actually thought that Tim was gonna win. I thought Tim Means had
Same.
more left in the tank, but nah, man. Court McGee got something left for everybody. So we'll see. We'll see who like. That's the type of person that I expect to fight somebody like a Nick Diaz. That's the type of fight that I would expect.
Bro, bro, keep going. The fact that he's fighting guys like Vicente Luque right now makes no sense to me. The
Yeah.
Court McGee fight, Tim Means fight, somebody like that, bro, would be perfect for him. The fact that they're giving
hmm
him a guy like Vicente Luque, a little disrespectful.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
bro, we did see a fight that did end in a retirement, though. What
hmm
were your thoughts on the Cookie Monster, Carla Esparza, leaving and also maybe even getting robbed by Tisha Pennington?
That was a really close fight. Tisha tends to be in super close fights. Her last fight against Tabitha Ricci was super close as well, which I actually thought Tisha won that one. But this fight, arguably, you could go either way, I think. And I think that maybe, since Tisha still has aspirations to go for the title, then, giving her the little gift on the way out is okay. I like that they gave Carla a package and played the whole thing. Like she deserved it. She's a two-time champion. A lot of people like give her a lot of grief. But the fact is she's won the belt two times. So you gotta respect that. And she deserved it, had her kid in there and everything. That was dope. And her going out with a fight that actually got a little exciting in the last 30 seconds, which normally she ends up having super boring ass fights. Shout out Rose Namajunas.
Shout out
So,
Rose.
so I was glad she was able to go out like that in a fight that she was actually competitive in.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. And like you said, bro, the fact that they gave her the spotlight like that, especially with her
Mhm.
being the second fight of the night, I thought they were just kind of dismiss her. When they gave her the mic, I was like, oh, that's cool. At least they're giving her the mic. But then
Yeah.
when they showed the videos, you see Joe Rogan crying. I ain't gonna lie, I got a little choked up. it's
Hmm.
just sad to see these fighters go, man. She was the first ever
Yeah.
strawweight women's champion, and now it's
Hmm.
just I feel like I'm getting old, bro. I feel like I'm getting old.
I know, dude. I saw her get her championship taken when she fought Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She walked,
Woo!
and you know what she looked like when she came out. She looked real stoic when she came
Ah.
out. She
Folks, if
did,
you don't know
man.
about the stoicism, go check out the Fight Week show with All On the Boys. You'll find out a little bit more about being stoic. But
Dude, yeah,
but
but
bro, you
yeah,
know who else looked kind of stoic?
hmm,
My boy Ryan Spann.
yeah,
My
he
boy
did.
Ryan Spann versus OSP did not go the way I thought at least about it. But how did you think this fight was gonna go? And what are your thoughts?
Um,
Ryan Spann winning first round submission.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a slugfest. I thought the
Yes.
OSP was going to kind of step on the gas a little bit. Like the way the OSP fights anyway is he likes to counter strike. He does have big power, but I feel like his counter striking. Obviously, he's 41. It's a little bit slower. That's just natural. And Ryan Spann, like when he came into the division, I was like, man, this dude is huge for the division. He can grapple, he can strike, like he's going to be a problem. But he was never really consistent. So him getting to a grappling exchange, I felt like suited him a little bit better. I mean, OSP has his one trick move. He's got that Von Flu or
The
Von Prue.
OSP choke, baby.
Yeah, he got that in his bag, but he wasn't able to even get to it, and he tapped so quick. He was ready to get
Bro.
out of there.
Bro, I can't believe he's still even in the UFC, to be honest with you. When I saw
I
that
think he
that
got
fight was
cut. I
on,
think he got cut.
oh, he got
I
cut
think he
right
got cut.
after?
I don't think it was right after, but like I think it was
Ah,
a few days after.
bro, I mean he just been in the UFC for so long, man. I mean, he's been
Hmm.
involved in so many wars and just the fact that he was fighting Ryan Spann didn't really make a lot of sense, but
No.
the UFC at that point is kind of like, look, Ryan, we're trying to give you a win here, bro. If you can't win this, I'm sorry, my
Yeah.
man. So I
Yeah.
think it was a little bit of giving the young lion, the old lion to kind of build his name off of.
Yeah. No. Totally agree. And I mean, he did his job. I'm just curious where he goes from here. Like when he fights people who are in the
Yes.
back end of the top 15, he has trouble. And according to his coaches, they say that it's him being inconsistent in his training. He has all the talent, but he's inconsistent as far as his training is concerned. So if he gets that under wraps, I feel like he can be a major problem in the division.
And just based off his size, bro, and his power, bro, this man
Yeah.
should be in the top 10. But as Anthony Smith said it when they fought two times, Ryan Spann does Ryan Spann shit.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the
that's
best way
exactly
to
what it
describe
is.
it, bro.
Mhm.
A fight that kind of didn't live up to the hype too, bro, was right after this. I was a little disappointed in this fight. Cesar Almeida versus Potiera. I'm sorry, folks, I butchered that. But a little disappointed in this fight, bro, that it went to decision. I thought this fight was gonna be one of the fights to watch out for. What were your thoughts
Mhm.
on this, Jax?
Well, one, it was interesting to see this fight without a ref. There was no ref involved in this fight at all whatsoever. They just and even with no ref, it still wasn't exciting. I thought that Almeida was going to do a lot better than he did. You know, especially the fact that he trains with Poatan. Like I thought that he was going to get a lot of different looks, and he was going to be more dynamic with his striking. But it just wasn't there. And then Potiera was like totally thrown off by getting poked in the eye 1,000 times. Um, I mean, I think he got hit in the nuts. Like it was
Mm.
all the fouls that you could have, he did all of them, and it still wasn't exciting. Um, and I mean, I guess Cesar Almeida won, but
Yeah,
I don't. Your stock goes down in my book after seeing all of that.
that's the best way to put it, bro. I guess he won. Nobody won that fight. The referee especially didn't win that fight. My man
Yeah,
was, I mean, that was his last fight on the card, but my man was going to get pulled after that no matter what. And the
yeah,
fans, we definitely lost that fight, bro.
100%,
So,
100%.
so really, I don't really want to spend too much time on that, bro, just because the fact that it took up most of my night having to sit there and watch that bullshit. But a fight that wasn't bullshit that I really enjoyed after that was Austin Hubbard versus Alexander Hernandez, bro. Did you
Yeah.
see Alexander Hernandez getting this W? Because I had Austin Hubbard, bro.
I had Austin Hubbard as well. And I felt like, I'm a little biased because I don't really like Alexander Hernandez like
I
at
saw
all.
that in the chat. I saw that in
Um,
the chat.
I don't like him. But I mean, it's not personal, but I don't know him personally. I'm sure he's a pleasant fellow, but you know what it came from? It came from the Cowboy Cerrone thing. Once he disrespected him, I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with you, bro. But and he's weird built, like he's just bad
Weird
built.
build, man. Like the way
But
like his stomach is poked in, he like
yeah,
pulls his shorts up. It is a weird ass build.
it's weird. It's weird, but he's never really lived up to what he was billed to be.
No,
And I
no.
thought that Austin did what he was supposed to do to win this fight. I did not have it going Alexander Hernandez's way at all. But Austin Hubbard gets in these super close fights, and these things tend to happen to him. I don't know if that's something he'll take back and be a little bit more dangerous and take a few more chances, just so he doesn't get in these situations. But I did have him winning this fight though.
I'm right there with you, bro. Literally, you just described it perfect. He is always, for some reason, in these close ass fights, bro. And
Mhm.
if you watch Austin Hubbard during the COVID days and kind of a little bit after that, smoking fools. But then now he's
Yeah.
gotten to that top 15 and fighting guys like Alexander Hernandez who aren't ranked necessarily, but they're still dogs, been in the UFC
Hmm.
forever. Just some reason, bro, he can't pull those off for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It happens to everybody. Once you get to a certain level and
Yeah.
things start to even out, then you just can't get past it. But I think that he's better than that. I think that he's a better fighter than Hernandez. I hope in his next fight he's a little bit more dangerous and takes a few more chances because I think that they'll pay off for him.
Another fight, bro, that didn't live up to the hype that I was really excited for, especially for female fight, was this right
Yeah.
here. Marina Rodriguez versus Lucindo.
Yeah.
Bro, I was telling everybody when we did the breakdown last weekend. I was telling everybody, I know y'all don't watch female fights. I know it's not my most exciting thing, but this fight is gonna be a scrap, and damn, they did not deliver.
Man, Lucindo, like I've been very, very high on Lucindo since she got into
Same.
the UFC. I thought
Yes.
that she was like the next coming of, somebody
Jessica
that's exciting in the
Andrade.
division. Yeah,
Yes.
somebody that could just bring some excitement to the division. And Marina Rodriguez, like, I've always liked her striking. She always comes up short when it's fighting the top tier, but the girl can strike. I mean, just thinking about what she did to Michelle Watterson, she beat the dog shit out of her not once but twice.
Yes.
So like I thought that this would be a nice scrap. Both of them, are pretty good strikers, but nah, man, this is one of those get up and get a beer fights.
Get up and get a beer. Go take a
Yeah,
bathroom break. Make the rest of your nachos you had. Go heat up that
yeah,
pizza.
yeah. It was. I mean, I'm glad Lucindo got the win. But it sucks that the fight was the way that it was. I mean, in women's MMA, like they need some excitement right now. I mean, the strawweight division's pretty good, but like they need some sort of excitement, and this wasn't it.
And we'll get into that more, bro, when we get to that co-main event. Because you know
Yeah.
what fight wasn't a go grab a beer fight? Right here, baby. This
Oh
fight
yeah.
was a get back on the couch. If you're just now watching the card, this is a good time to start watching. Brother,
Yeah.
what were your thoughts on this fight? Because I'm a little sad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little sad. I'm a little hurt, but I definitely saw Joaquin Buckley winning that way.
I thought that he was gonna do half of what he did. Like I thought he was gonna grapple to stifle what Wonder Boy does, what he does so well. And he did that. But then he got into some striking exchanges, and Wonder Boy was holding his own in those striking exchanges. Wonder Boy is still quick.
And Wonder Boy
Um,
looked big, bro. He looked
he
way
did.
bigger than Joaquin.
He did. He did. And it's funny, Joaquin being a person who was at middleweight and dropped down to welterweight, and he still looked like the smaller man in there. It's wild. But to me, this showed me two things. Wonder Boy, even though he lost this fight, I think he still got it. And that's something
Yes.
that's you rare to say about somebody in their 40s. But he still got it. And I think that his next step, which hopefully is the MVP fight, he'll still be very, very adequate in fighting them. For Buckley, he is one fight away from fighting for a belt. And that is so crazy to say.
Crazy to say, bro, especially when you look at him 2 years ago.
Dude, I'm saying, like, just a couple years ago, Kevin Holland was knocking him out. You know what I'm saying?
Bad.
And yeah, disrespectful. And now look where we are. The roles have flipped. Like what we thought that Holland was going to do when he dropped down is exactly what Buckley is doing.
That, bro, that is such a great point, bro. He has done, honestly, Kevin's had more fights than Joaquin since he dropped down at 170, but Joaquin's had bigger fights and he's taken advantage of all his wins, bro, and all the fights he's gotten at 170. Because when you
Hmm.
see Kevin versus Wonder Boy, God, scrap, great, one of the greatest fights I've ever seen, but Kevin got his ass whooped. His hand broke, and honestly,
Hmm.
if it doesn't break, maybe Kevin gets knocked out. Joaquin versus Wonder Boy, bro, I mean, didn't even get out the third round. I mean,
Yeah,
literally didn't even hit him with his feet on the ground. Jumped completely
bruh.
in the air and just right hand and then Wonder Boy's fence hit the cage. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was wild. You know what it reminded me of? Like any people who've played this, if you play Mike Tyson's Punch Out, when Little Mac, that's how he hits. That's how he hits people because he's so little, and he just jumps and just lunges and hits them with those hooks. And that's exactly what it was. It was a Little Mac punch,
Bro. And I couldn't imagine the power Joaquin carries with that punch, bro. I
man.
mean, he's already
A
built like a
ton.
pit bull.
Yeah, yeah. A pit bull is exactly what he's built like.
Before we move on to that fight, bro, what do you see next for Wonder Boy and who do you see next for Joaquin?
Wonder Boy to me, it's got to be the MVP fight.
I
Like
love that fight, man.
they got to make that fight before it gets away from them. Because there's no telling. Like MVP, he could fight somebody next, and and leapfrog because he still wants to go for the belt. He's a little bit younger, but for Wonder Boy, like it's legacy fights, like fun fights at this point. He could still fight, but if he doesn't, he might be going to karate combat, like Joaquin said.
Hey, hey, honestly, I could see that, bro.
It would
I
be
could really
fun.
see
I
that. And
watch it.
it'd be so fun. Yeah, it'd be so fun
Yeah.
to watch.
For Joaquin, the call out of Kamaru Usman to me was so perfect. It was so
Bro,
perfect. That's the fight to make to me. Because I mean, what is Usman doing? Like he's trying to angle for this Bilal fight that he's not going to get because they're going to make the Shavkat fight. That they're just going to. JDM, I don't know what's going on with him, but to me, fighting Buckley, like either one of them that wins is right there for the belt. Even if Usman with his stature, if he beats Buckley, they'll consider him for a title shot. He doesn't have to beat JDM or anybody or Ian Gary to get a title chance. He could beat Buckley and get a title chance. So it'll be a win-win for whoever wins it. So that's the fight to make easy.
and, and if he does fight tomorrow, bro, we've seen with Buckley, he never puts on a boring fight, bro. So
No.
it'll at least be exciting. What wasn't exciting was watching this next fight after that, bro.
Oh man.
This fight, I mean, it wasn't bad, but damn, Kayla, they set you up for literal easy success here. Dominate Caitlin Vieira, get a finish like you've been getting, automatic title shot. You're probably gonna get it anyways, which we'll get into more when we get to the co-main. But give me your thoughts on this performance, Jackson. Just what's next for Kayla Harrison?
Man, so I'll preface this by saying that yes, she's gonna fight for the belt next. But before this fight, and we talked about this, on multiple things prior to, but like I thought that Kayla Harrison, like she was here and the rest of the division was down here. But like, nah, I think it's like this.
Yes.
Because if you and Caitlin Vera is no slouch. Like I feel like she's been ranked number 2 for forever. Um, but if you're not able to control somebody who is very willing to go to the ground and be on their back, and you're not able to do anything once you get into your world, it makes me feel like when you do that against Juliana, like it's going to be a different kind of situation, and it'll be a lot more even than maybe we thought after she fought Holly. So like my stock definitely went down on her. I still think that she's probably going to win the belt, but I think that the room for error is a lot bigger than I thought because her striking was absolute dog shit. Like it didn't exist.
And let's not forget, bro, I get she beat Holly, but Holly's 42 years old. Holly's
Yeah.
older. Holly is straight striking. Holly's not going to take you down. Her takedown defense is good, bro, but against a bull like Kayla Harrison, good luck. So they give her
Yeah.
somebody like Kaylin Vieira, like you said, been in the top three for who knows how damn long. Hits like a 165-pound dude, just is a monster and made Kayla bleed. Shout out to the cut man, but
Hmm.
had a huge hematoma on Kayla.
Yeah.
Kayla said to her after, "You're the first person to make me bleed." And honestly, bro, she just she needed that finish, man. Whether even if
Yeah.
it was ground and pound submission, she needed to get that finish, man.
Yeah. Her aura took a hit for sure. Like that aura is greatly diminished. It's almost like, once we saw Hamzat fighting Gilbert Burns and we're like, wait a minute, maybe you aren't as good as we thought you were. That's
Yep.
how it feels.
And then speaking of auras being gone, bro, we're gonna touch up on Caleb once we get more to the co-main. Man, what's next for our boy, dog? Kevin Holland versus Roman Dolidze. I can't really be too mad at Kevin, bro. People are talking a lot of shit, saying why didn't he go out there and maybe push a little harder? People have no idea what it feels like to
Hmm.
have cartilage in your ribs like that and have your ribs just loosely floating. And then if he does go back out there, bro, Roman's gonna probably take him down and just beat the shit out of him. So,
Yeah.
so just give me kind of your thoughts on this, bro, and just kind of what we see next for our boy. And shout out Roman Dolidze, I guess.
I think well, one, as far as like the rib injury, like if you've never had a rib injury, you don't know how much that hurts. Like
You can't
breathing
breathe.
hurts, turning hurts, everything hurts. You can't go and tough it out when it
No,
comes to
bro.
a rib. It's just not possible. So he wasn't gonna be able to fight. Like I totally understand that. I mean, for me, if I was Kevin, I would petition the UFC to try to run it back. That's what I would really try to do. Because one, it's a great opportunity for him. I don't think that Roman Dolidze, he's a stand-up dude, and I think that he wouldn't be satisfied with winning that way. So I think that that would be the way that I would go for both of them. Is just run it back and make it definitive. Because a win for Roman Dolidze would be helpful as well. Even though he's coming off a win against Anthony Smith, that was in another division, and we all have certain opinions on Anthony Smith. So I think that this would have been a bigger win for him. But I think that they should just run it back.
Honestly, bro, I don't hate that at all. Kevin probably needs about 2 months to get his ribs fully healed too. So maybe they start off the year in January. Maybe they do a January, February card and just kind of do a quick turnaround, bro. Because like you said, if both of them could get a finish over each of that opponent, huge jump for them up in the 170-pound division, bro.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, bro, I would spend more time on that, bro, but we really didn't get a finish out of that. And it really was just
Yeah.
one of them freak accidents, bro. But a thing
Yeah.
that everybody's been talking about, the amount of hate this man, Mario Bautista, is receiving from winning a split decision against the King of Rio, Jose Aldo, who had one of the best walkouts of the night Saturday, by the way. Jax, give
Hmm.
me your thoughts on this before I go on a 10-minute rant. Give me your thoughts, bro, before I sit here and this is the only fight we talk about.
Man, so one, I don't agree with the hate for like towards Mario Batista personally. He did what he thought that he needed to do to win the fight, even if we disagree with the method. Um, and holding somebody against the cage, they are controlling them. And even if we don't see what they're doing, I mean, you know this better than most. I mean, when you have one person trying to push one way and the other person trying to push the other way, that is super duper draining. But I feel like the fault is more on the third person in the cage. If they're not going to break it up, what is Batista going to do? He's going to continue to try to get the fight where he wants to get it because he already knows if he's striking out in the open, Jose was piecing him up.
Piecing him up.
So he put it in a place where he thought that he could win. So to me, the fault is on the ref and the judges. If the judges saw that and were like, okay, he's not doing anything to cause damage, we're not going to reward you for that, then they would have scored this correctly. But they didn't, and they scored it incorrectly, and that's where we're at. So that's kind of how it goes. To me, I still would rather see Jose fight Henry Cejudo. I think that he, in the hearts of the fans and the hearts of the UFC, he
Wow.
won this fight. Run it with Jose with Henry Cejudo. And I mean, that's a Legends fight. That's a big fight. Just run that, man. That's what Jose wants. So just do that. And then Batista, he can fight somebody, in and around the number 11 area. Just
Yeah.
just do that.
Yeah, man. Because when I was watching that fight, bro, and honestly, the way you just described that was perfect. But when I was watching the fight, bro, I was watching it with my family, and they were saying, first of all, Jose won, like everybody was saying, but they were also saying, I'd like to see Jose versus Peter Yan next, and I'm like, they fought, and it was
Yeah, they
fucking an
did.
ass whooping by Peter Yan. I
Yeah, it
like
was.
the Henry Cejudo fight, bro, but what I wanted to see next for him was Dominic Cruz. I want to see Dominic
Mhm.
Cruz versus Jose Aldo. Bad, bro. Give me your thoughts on that. But I do like the Henry Cejudo fight as well because Henry needs a win. Just came off a loss from Marab. Marab beat Aldo. Aldo lost, but we all know he won. So
Mhm.
I think either one of those are a great fight, bro.
Yeah, I like the Dominic Cruz fight as well. There's two issues with both the Henry Cejudo and the Dominic Cruz fight. For Henry Cejudo, he's been talking about going back down to 125. So
Oh, for
that could be a
real?
situation. Yeah, like I don't understand it.
What the?
Um, but that's what he said. And
Yeah.
so if that's what he does, and it'll be easier to get a title shot if he does that. So I can understand that part of it. But for your body at that age to drop 10 more pounds, like that's tough, man. That's a hard ask.
And Henry ain't
But
skinny.
he
That boy
not.
acting like he's walking around like he's 26 again. That boy is walking around damn near 160, I bet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like I mean, just looking at him compared to when he was at 125, like, nah, bruh. I
Nah,
don't know,
bro.
man. But and then Dominic Cruz, like he's so inactive.
Yes.
That's the problem. It's like, do you still fight? You
Bro,
know what
I
I'm
was just about to
saying?
say, keep talking. I'm about to look up when last time Dominic Cruz last fight was.
I'm trying to think when it was, man. It's been so long since he fought. So like I'm puzzled on whether this is something that he still wants to do, but like they still got him in the rankings, which is a major problem for
Wow.
me. I don't think that you should be in the rankings after being this inactive. But if they do make that fight, I think it would be, a pretty dope fight for hardcores. But if they make the Jose Aldo and Henry Cejudo fight, that's really kind of a big fight because Henry Cejudo is still, he's in a losing effort. He's fighting top tier people. So if Jose beats Henry, then he just takes that spot of being the legend in the mix.
Yeah. And his last fight, bro, was August 13th, 2022. He got knocked out by Chito Vera. So it's been over 2 years and about 2 months now since last time he fought, and it was a
How
knockout.
is he ranked? How is
How is
he
he
ranked?
ranked? And the two fights he won before that was Casey Kinney and Pedro Munoz. So not even really giant names either, folks. We got
Mm-mm.
about 10 minutes left, bro. So I don't want to spend too much more time on the Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista. That's been a huge talk around just everywhere I've been seeing, bro. But that's our thoughts on it, folks. Kind of nothing you can do on that. Jax, I think you explained it perfectly, bro. Because after that, bro, I thought it was time to get two incredible fights. One we did, one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. But then
Yeah.
before that, we had to watch this bullshit. Before that, we had to watch this bullshit. Now, up until the fourth and fifth round, not a bad fight. But
Yeah.
god dang, that first 3 rounds was the most typical women's MMA fight I've ever seen, bro. Kind of give me
Yeah.
your thoughts quick on this, bro, and just kind of what you see next for each of these women.
Man, well, I thought that to your point, it started very slow, very, very slow and methodical. I mean, I don't know if you can say that they were feeling each other out. I don't know what you call what they were doing necessarily, but once it started getting going, and it's always the same with Rocky. Once she realizes what she can do, when she like it starts to click, oh wait, I do have power. I can knock somebody out. And then she starts to do it and she's like, oh, okay, I hurt you. But wait, let me go back to the jab. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Finish him. Like literally, Raquel Pennington could have finished. She could have finished Bueno Silva and she could have finished Pennington. And just think of how we would be talking about her if she did both of those things, dude, it would be so different. But that's not what she did. She took her time for whatever reason, and Juliana Pena was able to stay in the fight. And credit to Juliana Pena. That's another person that I really don't like, but she's super crazy tough. I will always say that about her. And she stuck around and she did just enough to walk away with this belt, even though I thought that Rocky won this fight. But as far as what's next, Alec, Juliana got to fight Kayla, and now there's way less heat on that fight because Kayla had a lackluster showing. Juliana Pena is still Juliana Pena, and for Rocky, honestly, Rocky could fight her way back to the belt because of the division so shallow. But I mean, I don't know if she even wants to do that. She's probably what 36 now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if she wants to do that anymore. She got paid probably close to 800,000 for this with pay per view and stuff. So she good. She good. She could really like ride off into the sunset at this point.
Yeah, bro, and nobody's asking for that rematch. And Juliana Pena really fucked the moment up by calling out Amanda Nunes for the third time. That just really fucked the whole vibes up for that. They put Kayla Harrison on the side by side. I mean, God, man. I mean, come on. It was
Yeah,
the perfect setup. Just call her out. Huge fight, huge build up. They use that as a promo. God dang, bro. It's so hard to root for women's MMA. But you know what's not hard to root for, baby? This
yeah,
being known as one of the greatest fights we have ever seen, Jax.
yeah.
This
No, this was
was
crazy.
one of the greatest fights, bro, I have ever watched. One of the greatest amount of heart shown I've ever seen. I mean,
Mhm.
like, go ahead, bro. I'm lost for words even just rethinking about it.
Dude, like so going into this fight, I was for Khalil. I mean, most
Same.
people it's funny because like a lot of people are like they said the same thing, like, I'm going for Khalil, but I expect Pereira to knock him out in like two. Like everybody was saying the kind of a similar thing. And, I wasn't thinking too different either. I thought that,
Yeah.
Pereira was gonna find him. But Khalil Rountree showed that you can beat Pereira with speed if you're able to keep up your cardio and have that speed to get in and get out. You can make it through these rounds, and he was winning that fight going into the
Bro,
fourth.
bro, on the
He was
judges'
winning.
scorecard, legit winning. That's not just you saying I think he was
Yeah,
winning. Like, he was legit
no, he
winning.
was winning,
Yeah.
and he dropped him, and he landed a head kick in
One of the
head kick
hardest
city.
fights I've ever seen Alex in, besides Izzy, one of the hardest fights I've had to see.
Mhm.
Alex had to like, bro, if you saw him in between the corner, I mean, it wasn't him just kind of just relaxing. Like it was
Nah,
pure, pure like, let's go. Come on, let's get on this, man. Let's finish this. Let's turn up now. But also the poise in Alex, bro, is fucking scary.
yeah, it
The
is.
just to know that you're down probably 2, 3 rounds going into that fourth round and just no worries. Same shit with Izzy. Fifth round, you're down three
Hmm.
one. No worries. Let's see what happens. If I land this left hook, it's all over.
Yeah, he's just a different person, man. Like to me, both of their stocks went up in this fight. Like I was super impressed by both of them. Um, One with Khalil, just the heart, the determination, just like him seeing this unbeatable person in front of him and not caring at all and walking through it. And I think that to me, his stock went way up. And like
Way.
I would love to see him against Jamal Hill, the person that was out in the crowd yawning. Like I want to see him fight him. Since you're out there yawning, like let's see what you do when you get in there with Jamal with Khalil Roundtree. That's what I want to see.
Bro.
And for Pajeda, I mean, you got to fight Ankalaev now. You ain't got no choice. You got to fight him. You got to.
Yeah, at this point, bro, there's no more running away from Ankalaev. Not necessarily running away. I'm not trying to blame it on Pereira, but the UFC can't keep stepping around that. I understand he does have to beat Rakic though, bro, and that's not a
He
gimme.
does.
That motherfucker's a dog.
Yeah, Rakic gave Yuri all he could handle until Yuri, kind of weathered the storm and was able to fire back and get him out of there. But Rakic is no joke. No
No
joke at
joke,
all.
bro. And we got about 3 minutes left, Jax. And folks, if you're still here, I big appreciate y'all for staying. If you aren't already liked and subscribed to the podcast, please do. And if you aren't liked and subscribed to this man's podcast, you're tripping. Making the Walk, like I said, one of the most underrated podcasts. But Jax, we could talk about the amount of heart and just respect between these two legit gladiators. All these football players that I'm a gladiator. You're not doing shit. You play a kid game. Y'all get fucking water breaks every 30 seconds. These dudes are gladiators, bro. That I'm telling you, I cannot wait until they release that again. I cannot wait to rewatch that. But Jax, answer this for me, bro. Is Alex Pereira the greatest fighter on the planet right now?
As far as yeah, he is. He's number one. He's pound for pound number one. Like
Pound for
a lot of people, I actually heard this just earlier today. Kevin Iole was talking about he thought that John Jones was, it was no, he thought Islam was pound for pound number one.
pound.
And
No, no,
I previously said that, but the thing is Islam is not active.
no.
So if you're not active, I can't put you number one. This dude is defending his belt against all comers.
Sparking fools
So
too. I mean, every Yuri knockout, Jamal knockout, Khalil knockout.
yeah,
Jan, people forget about the young Blachowicz fight, but that was only 3 rounds, and it went and
yeah,
he barely won that fight. So I wouldn't. People forget about Jan, bro. I don't know if Jan's injured or what he's been doing, why he's not active as much no more. But
yeah.
don't be surprised if you see Alex versus Jan too.
I would expect that to be something that pops up on the radar. Jan had a shoulder surgery on both shoulders, so he had to
Um,
recover from that.
oh,
But but you know, if he's able to come in and do what he was doing in that fight before and wrestle, it's not going to be an exciting win. But Jan can beat him if he's in top condition.
bro, thank you so much for coming on the show, Jax. Like I said, folks, we keep these 35 minutes for y'all. We might start expanding these a little bit longer down the road, but for now, we just appreciate y'all joining me. Jax, for real, bro. I appreciate you filling in today, my man.
Of course,
Uh,
man. Of
thank you so
course.
much for coming on, bro. Like I said, if you're not already following this man on Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever, YouTube, Making the Walk, one of the most slept on podcasts in the game. Folks, thank y'all for staying with this UFC 307 recap. Jax, you're the man, brother. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Hey, man, like he said, man, like, share, subscribe, all the stuff.
We're out, folks. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all.